Again, with us, thanks again for tuning into yet another video. Infamous coming at you live from the West Coast yet again, San Jose, California. So in this video, I'm just showing you guys, or giving you guys an idea on how to lay down some lines for your projects or for your paint jobs or whatever you guys are doing. So we know, I mean, you could pretty much just off the bat, if you've seen the paint job so far, we know the inch tape, which is this masking tape, the blue one, that's my base coat, right? So this is what I'm basing off of the design. The 1/4 inch, that's of course is the metallic flake, and so is my 1/8, that's also my metallic flake. So you could also see that I have I believe this is 1/2 inch. So this 1/2 inch is my teal color, and then of course what's inside of here and here, that's going to be my design. And of course we're gonna have sun rays with flames or honeycomb design, and of course same thing on this one. So what I'm doing, I'm just, like I said, I'm laying down my base coat, which is my guide right here, my 1 inch all the way around. This is a little bit shy of an inch, so instead of folding the masking tape, I went ahead and just added a 1/4 inch onto the edge, and then I moved my 1/4 inch guide, or my silver flake, on the inside of that, and that's pretty much what you guys could probably just notice. All right, and then of course I have my 1/2 inch teal, which is going to be the candy teal, and then I just follow that guide all the way around my 1/4 inch. You can see right here how I get around the bends. All right, I just, you know, I just meet up and I line up the tape along the 1/2 inch marking. And then of course this little design right here, I just picked a random spot and I laid it on top. That's pretty much it. You could of course do this many different ways. You can make this more slanted. You could connect this point to that point, and then vice versa. You could connect that point to that point, and then you'll have yourself like an X or an overlap. There's so many different things you can do. I can add another one of these, use a measuring tape of course, and then just move. We can measure like 1 inch or 2 inch. If you wanted to, you could lay down a blue tape along this edge and then drop down another line. Here, let me grab a tape real quick just to show you guys what I'm talking about. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's just say I'm not gonna add a line or an additional line. I'm pretty much happy with what I got here, but you could go ahead and grab your 1 inch or whatever you want this gap to be. You could add your 1 inch, drop it on there like so, and then you could pull yourself another line. Of course, you know, you could do this a little bit more closer to your this is 1/8, your 1/8, and then of course you could add your teal just to kind of make it all even and stuff like that, guys. You can add your teal, which is your 1/2 inch, lay that on top of there, pull that off, of course, remove your 1 inch guide, and then add another little slant design right there. You guys are getting what I'm trying to say here? Kinda. You guys get what I'm trying to do? So we could have a double line like so that's overlapping, and do like a drop shadow effect. That way you can have that, you know. So that's pretty much, that would be like the quickest way to do it. Of course you are going to be, you know, throwing away a lot of this tape, and then of course if you wanted to, you could add another little line. Like I said, there's just so many different ways to do this. You know, you guys can go crazy with this stuff. You can add yourself another little design here, and then of course this would be teal. You know, add that like so, remove that line, and now we have 1, 2, 3 lines, whatever you want to do here. Then of course we'll go back and then add the add our 1/8. Let me grab that real quick. And then you would just take your metallic flake and then just pull a line from here to there, and then you're pretty much a little design. So we'll just connect it over here, overlap it, I'm doing this as quickly as possible, just to kind of give you guys an idea. Bend that out, follow that line, of course, and then grab your razor blade. My razor blade's a little dull, so let's just, you know, cut it like so. Then of course pull this line. You could also curve these, so it doesn't really matter. This will bend inward because that's the design I'm looking for. Like that, of course. And like I said, this blade is dull, so it's not gonna cut. You don't want to pull it because then you stretch the tape, and then it looks all funny. If you pull on the tape, it starts to thin it out. Of course, we do that. And then where this meets, of course, you're gonna cut it, and then that's how you get, you know, that design. So I mean, there's just so many different things to do. Of course, I like having a little bit of an overlap so you could cut these corners. Show you guys what I'm talking about. So right here, you see that it's overlapped, and that's my point right there that I'm going to cut, pull this off. The reason why I'm keeping it there is because this is going to take me a little bit longer. I like to have the tape stick on, because as time goes by, the tape's going to start to lift over time. I doubt I'm gonna have time to finish this in one day, so I like using the masking tape and having the overlay to grip, so I don't have to go back and do this jazz. You know, you could, of course, you could do that too, just to make sure your points are held down, and you don't have to worry about it lifting over time. So that's why I like having the extra tape like so it stays sticky to the surface. And then once I go back to remove all of this masking tape, which is my teal color, that's when I go back and I'll start cutting into my corners and stuff like that. Same thing right here, like if you decide to cut that out, of course, you just follow that tape that curves into place, put the blade up against that tape, and then just follow it down and then cut it. So, and then of course, once we finish doing our designs or whatever you decide to do on here, of course, you'll mask it up a little bit more if you don't want it to bleed through. If you don't want that dark edge, you can mask this up, make sure it's nicely masked, and then go crazy with your designs. And then we go back and then we start pulling these off. So I'm not going to be doing these. Like I said, I just wanted to show you guys on how to go about that. And of course, we're going to add another line here to just kind of make it uniform and make it complete. And we'll have, you know, 3 little sections here. And then of course, these ones would just, you know, if you wanted to, you could just do a drop shadow, have an extension, because I'm going to do a flame. I might, you know, pull it all the way through if I wanted to. So just to kind of give you guys an idea on how to get, you know, that 1-inch separation, and then just to kind of make sure it's, you know, it's even, you know, throughout both sections. You guys can see this one's a little bit wider. What happened? Okay, I know what happened, because I based it off of this line and not this line, so that's why that ended up. So just, you know, keep an eye on that. Of course, my inner line right here, this was something that I did after. All right, so if you're, you know, if you're setting up these lines, then you'll have these markings all the way down. So what I should have done, of course, I should have went off of this line and not this line, because then now that threw me off. And then the thing I could have done was lay down a fine line 1/8 and then added my 1 inch on top. So that's why that was a little janky. So once again, what I should have done, lay down like that, and then lay down my 1/4 inch, and then of course, you know, built up off of that. Should have done this, and then lay down another one like so. You know, this is also my guide, and like I said, this is also my, and now we have the even spacing amongst these. Once we add the 1/4 inch, like so, like so, like so, that would still be exactly 1 inch between the teal candy color. All right, so hopefully that didn't confuse you guys too much, but I mean, there's just so many things you guys can do, of course. And then once we're done with our design, well, I'll probably check back in once I spray the design right here. So I'll probably do the sun ray here. I'll probably do sun rays on both of these, just to kind of keep it simple. And so that's the front fender, of course. You could also, I also have enough flake to kind of do something here if I do decide. So that's the, you know, that's another little thing to kind of consider. If you're just planning to do a certain area like this is going to be your main work area, you don't have to spray metal flake all the way down here. All right, so I left it like this just so I could have it available to me if I do decide. I don't know, maybe I'll put something here, maybe I won't. I'm still, you know, I'm still debating on, you know, if I do want to do something here. But I mean, that's available for me to decide. Same thing with the little chin spoiler that I have here. You guys can check that out. Same thing, you know, I laid down my blue tape, which is my base. I want exactly 1 inch because the whole bike it's 1 inch from the edge. All right, so you can see how I pretty much followed that through with the 1/4 inch, and then I did another guide on the inside of my 1/2 inch, and then I just followed this point down here, that point down here, and then that's how I got the main template. And then I went over with my 1/8 all the way inside. And like I said, the reason why I do the overlap is so I could go back and make these cuts, because that's how I'm going to get that sharp point right here. And of course I'll have another sharp point right here. So you pull enough tape so you have a sharp point that's going to be right here. And like I said, the reason why I keep it like that, because I want it to stick onto the surface, because I don't know if I'm gonna have enough time to finish all of this within the time allowed. Because of course, the longer you go with the tape, it's gonna lose adhesion. It's gonna get, you know, loose. It's gonna start shrinking. It's gonna start doing all kinds of stuff depending on the weather. And yeah, the weather's the main factor. So then this is pretty much ready for my design. What I'm going to do from here is, because I don't want any bleed through or overspray there, I'm going to go ahead and grab this masking tape, which is the same one, and then just go over that like so. That way I don't have to worry about the base, the black base that I'm spraying the main designs bleeding through. And then I'll just do that because I want this to be a clean teal and not a darkened teal. So that's why I'm doing that. Or you could just take your 1 inch and just, you know, mask that off. I'm shooting this with the what's it called? The airbrush. So the airbrush doesn't have a lot. It doesn't have a lot of overspray. So this one's a little bit too wide. Of course, you could always pinch it, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to be using the 1/2 inch. And then, like I said, this is just me trying to mask up all of the teal area that I'm going to try to save and protect, because the rest of the bike does not have a drop shadow on the teal, and I don't want to do that with this, because then it's going to change the whole look. You could do that if you wanted to, you know, if you wanted to have a drop shadow on your candy, give it a little bit more definition, you could do that. I want a clean teal, so I'm going to mask up most of this area so I don't have to worry about bleed throughs or anything like that. So we're pretty much almost there. I'm just going to tape this up right here. And then of course, like I said, I'm going to pull this off once I'm done with the design. Alright, so now we just have this and this. So then I'll go back with my 1/2 inch. Put that down like so. And then we're pretty much ready to start spraying. And that's what I'm hoping for. By tomorrow I might have enough time to go in here and tape this stuff up. Spray it tomorrow. Alright, so that's pretty much it. We'll do sun rays here, I guess, little mini sun rays, and I'll probably do another sun ray here as well. So what I like to do is, since we have the masking tape, this is easy to write on. I can measure 1 inch all the way around. What you could do is you could pull from this corner, that way it's even on the inside. So let's go ahead and grab the masking tape, show you guys how it's done. Alright, so looking at this right here with the tape here, we're looking at, what is that, 3.5? 3.5. So that is what, an inch and 3/4. That would be my middle mark. 1 inch 3/4. Yeah, come on. Right there. So that's my middle right there. Alright, let's go ahead and measure the bottom. That is 2.5, so that is 1.25 inches. Let's go ahead and mark 1.25 inches right there. Alright, so that's my middle mark right there. Of course, we're gonna draw, let's do 1 inch from each point right there. So 1 inch there, that's 1 inch there. Of course, is that gonna be enough sun rays? Probably. What do you guys think? So we have 1, 2, 3. I don't think so. Let's go ahead and add another one here. 1 inch. 1 inch there. Alright, so you guys kind of get what I'm trying to explain and show you guys. Alright. So this is how we're going to do our sun rays. We'll start from there to there. Spray that, drop shadow, pull that off. Then meet this line with this line. That way it's nice and even, alright? Then we'll do another drop shadow from here to there. Pull that off. And then spray this point from this point, of course. So we have, oh, did I skip this one? So that's 1. Oh, I did. Well, I mean, it's up to you. Alright, if you guys want to connect it here, if not, it might be a little bit busy if we do another one there. But the good thing is, because this is 1 inch from this point, and then from this point to this point is exactly 1 inch, it'll look even. It's not going to look funky. Sometimes people don't realize when they start spraying these sun rays. I mean, this is like fine stuff, guys. I mean, we're talking about, most people will not notice. But I can guarantee you, I can assure you, most painters will notice this stuff, because I see it all the time when I'm looking at other people's work. So of course that's going to be even. That's going to be even. And then we'll do this another one right here. That of course will be a little bit more precise. Like so. That. And then we'll finish this last one here. Boom. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. And that'll be, of course, like that. Or you could do it either or. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It's up to you. And then on these edges, I guess I'll do the honeycomb right here. You know, this is just stuff that you could, you know, just look at and decide, you know, if that's something that you want to do. I think that's going to look pretty sharp, having this. And of course, it's going to be all uniform because we're going off of these points. The reason why, of course, you don't do it the other way is because this will not end. This mark could end somewhere like here to here or something. It's going to be really odd. It's going to be very tight in this area, and then of course it's going to be really open on the left side. So, and especially when it comes to pieces like this that is front and center, like stuff like this on the edge, you could kind of hide imperfections. But when it comes to the middle stuff, you got to make sure that this is precise and looks even and looks right. Because this is going to be seen from the front. I've always mentioned this in the videos. For like this side and this side, stuff there could be a little bit of give because you can't see both of these parts at the same time. So if this is off by ½ an inch or whatever, you won't notice it looking from this point. And since you're looking at the bike from this side or this side, because you know, the front wheel's going to be in the middle, you're not going to see this piece that much. You'll be able to hide imperfections or if you mess up or whatever, you know, on this. So same thing on this. Of course, that'll be pretty much ready for tomorrow. That's my guide right there. Like I said, I could do another sun right here. You know, pull 1 inch from this, 1 inch from this, and then I'll have 1, 2, just to kind of give you guys an idea. Let's go ahead and just do it. So, of course, we could measure the middle of this once again, so we can have a nice, sharp look to it. So that is 2 3/4. 2 3/4. So that is 1 inch and 7/8. Is that correct? 1 inch and 7/8. Is that right there? I believe that's 1 inch and 7/8. Is it? No. Is it? What did I say? 2 1/4? 2 3/4. So that is 1 inch. Anyways, guys, you guys get the point. All right. All right. So I'll have my middle mark somewhere right here. I'm going to draw 1 inch from this corner, 1 inch from this corner, and then that'll give me 1, 2. That's going to be a little bit of a mini sun ray right there. And then, of course, I'll repeat the same thing over here. That should be 2 3/4. You guys can see from this point to this point, 2 3/4, and then we'll pull our line, our middle line. What did I think it's this one. Is it? I don't know. It's late, guys. Got off of work late. I'm trying to give you guys an idea, of course. So we'll pull 2 lines. If you want to do sun rays, sun rays, sun rays, I'm gonna be doing the honeycombs right here. Right now, let's look at the fender, the front fender, of course. We could pull the middle mark from here, but I think I'm gonna pull it from somewhere like in this area. That's what I think. So I'll have it like this, and maybe I'll have another one this way. Have a double ray or whatever. So we gotta, you know, it's just based off of something over here. We'll just take a gander right there. 7 inches. That's easy. So 7. That's 3 1/2. That's the middle mark. So 7, 3 1/2 right there. I don't want to mark my metal because this is a Sharpie that's gonna show. Usually I'm using a pencil, something that I could, you know, just wipe off really easily. All right, so that would be my middle mark, and then based off of what I want to do, of course, we could do what is this? That would be 1.5 inches. That would be the middle mark. We could pull from these points, from this corner we could do probably 2 inches because it's a larger area. So we could do, man, we could probably do 1.5 inches here, 2 inches from here, and then 2 inches from this point. That way we'll have 1, 2, 3, but this might be a little bit too open. No, because it's going to be 2 inches from this point to this point, 2 inches from this point to this point. So maybe it'll blend in. Maybe. On that. So we have 1, 2, 3, and then we'll add one more here. Another 2 inch from this point. And then that'll be our sun ray right there. You guys get what I'm saying? So, I mean, I still got to look at this. I'm just giving you guys an idea. Once I pull my 2 inches from that point, drop it down, then we'll do 2 inches from that point, do another one, and then there'll be 2 inches from this point, another one, and then of course the final one would be 2 inches from this point, and then we'll do another one right there. So then it'll be like, it'll fan this way. All right, so that's how I kind of lay down my lines. Like I said, we still have to mask this up, so we have it's protected, of course. And then we're just going to be, see, I'm going to cover up my mark already, but I'll just measure it again. So we're going to do this. We're masking up, protecting our base coat. Like I said, I don't want any bleed through, so we're just going to lay that down like so. Cover that up. I'm going to cover that up. And then we'll start, spraying our design tomorrow. Do that. Come down here. Cover that up. You guys are getting the idea? Sorta, kinda. It's not too confusing. Nothing like that. Not too worried about the airbrush having too much overspray, because once I'm done with the design, I'm going to remove a lot of this tape, and then I'm going to have to lay down some more tape to protect the parts that I'm not painting the teal candy color, of course. So we'll just do a little bit over here. I mean, you don't, like I said, you could always sand this down anyways. I mean, it's really up to you, okay? We could spray it, because I'm gonna end up sanding it down again anyways. But by doing this, I don't have to sand down the base coat. It's already prepped. This is ready for base. So instead of sanding it again and potentially bleeding through, it doesn't really matter on this face, because my base coat is just solid white. So I'm okay with me burning through, because it's a solid white color that I'm spraying. But if you're spraying another candy and then you have to sand down, and then you might run into burning through. And if you burn through your metal flake, you'll see it through your candy, and then of course you'll have to repair it and then spray it again. So now this is covered up. I covered up my mark, so I'm gonna have to measure that again, and then do the middle mark of that. And then right here, I'll probably, like I said, maybe I'll do the honeycombs back here, and then that's pretty much ready. We'll lay down, we'll spray the base. I like having the dark base on my designs because it gives it nice contrast. That's just me, alright? That's just the way I like to do my candies. You guys can see it over here. This is absolutely filthy, but you can see I like the dark base on the designs. You guys can see it's black. Over here, another dark base, of course. And just same thing, dark base. this is the way I like doing my paint jobs. I just like having that contrast between the candy apple and whatever, the gold or whatever. So that's pretty much the way, you know, you do it. Same thing, you guys can almost even see how that fits. Look at that, you see how that kind of fits right in there? You know, that fits in there. All right, and then of course you just go off of, you know, whatever you're doing and the measurements and stuff like that. I could probably even hold up this one up against here. No, this is 1/2 inch. So you can see that right there. You see how it's 1/2 inch all the way around? So anyways, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching yet another video. I'm going to spray these. Maybe we'll check back in once we're done, and then I'll show you how we go about, you know, keeping everything protected. Like I said, you save yourself time on sanding if you just mask this stuff up. You guys have an idea of how to lay down the designs. I'll do my marks, like I said, with the Sharpie here. I'll probably grab a pencil just to be on the safe side, so I don't mark my my metal flake, because if I mark this with the metal flake, I'm gonna have to erase it with an acetone, something strong to kind of get this off the acetone. Because if I leave this on the metal flake and I spray my candy on top, you'll see my Sharpie mark. So candies, of course, they're translucent base. If you want to spray it in your base, if you want to spray in your clear, they're transparent colors, so you'll be able to see if, you know, if you do leave a Sharpie mark or a pencil mark or a pen mark, if you leave it under there without wiping it down, it will stick onto that surface, and it's going to be a part of the paint job for the rest of its life. So anyways, thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned. Maybe we'll keep this going, or if not, this is the end of the video. Life's Risk, get out there and ride. Later.